The reality is that not everybody has those overt signs. You don't always see it. There are some signs that are very concerning, particularly when you see somebody who's talking about suicide or somebody who's making a plan that they share about ending their life, or particularly if they're collecting the means by which to end their life. Those are kind of the big three flaming signs that somebody's at high risk. There are other signs, anger and hopelessness, that are there, that sense of being alienated and alone, like Dave talked about a minute ago, mood swings, changes in substance use, things like that are warning signs, but they're not always there.
Oh, how does it feel? How does it feel? Like a rolling stone.
Extreme, I want to make like a vandal. Right up a page, I'm going to turn on a handle. All rush to the circle.
Destroying the virtual reality. Please give us the ice cream.
Is it spinning?
Yeah, I see why it's harder.
It was getting dark on me.
Hi!
Hi, I'm Tim Coventry, and in the early hours on March 16th, 2025, I attempted to end my own life. And my sister and her dog found me, saving my life. I could not be more thankful to them. I've been getting help now for several months, but I personally decided to make this video to talk about my experience and to let people who know me and who don't know me know that it's okay to feel this way and it's okay to get help for it. I was struggling since the beginning of January with suicidal ideations and thoughts. Multiple thoughts per month leading up to March. But I was fighting them off until I thought personally I couldn't anymore. My problem was something I call tunnel vision. I know if I widen that wall, both those walls, I have an entire big ecosystem of close friends and family members who love me. But I was in tunnel vision the early morning, the night of March 16th, and I didn't see it. I decided to take prescription medication, my prescription medication, along with alcohol, and end my life. This definitely isn't easy to talk about. I've never been this open on camera. In April of 2018, right before I was graduating, or about to graduate high school, my father committed suicide, and he was successful. That type of impact on an 18-year-old growing up, it's instrumental. I never gave myself the time to grieve. And in October of 22, I started struggling really badly. And I knew I needed to get help. I got a therapist. I thought I got the help I needed. But even then, I'm a visual person. I like to be in class to learn things. And I knew I would want to be in person to see a therapist, yet I was having a hard time finding one in person. So I ended up succumbing to online virtual sessions. And for a while, I thought I was getting the help I needed. I thought I was getting better. You can fast forward that to several months ago when I was struggling again. But I was still seeing a therapist. I was still getting the help I needed. I got frustrated, upset even. Not at the therapist, at myself. I'm like, why am I still feeling this way? I don't feel like I'm getting better. And then, it got really bad in January. I started feeling worse. I didn't feel like myself. But if you were to talk to any one of my friends, I'm sure they thought I was acting normally. And that was part of this shell that I put up on myself. I'm a people pleaser. I'm someone who wants to make sure others are okay before I am. That was getting exhausting. I would compile things that upset me in my body until they eventually just exploded. It's not a healthy way of living, and it doesn't feel good. So January was very bad. February was not great. I thought I was getting better until I got worse again. And then beginning of March, was not feeling great. Again, trying to get better, and had a really bad night. A night I've never had before, because I had suicidal ideations that night. But instead of continuing to fight them off, I let them in. I didn't have a plan at the beginning of that day, or the day prior. It just happened. It was impulsive. And before I knew it, I took these medical pills, and I drank alcohol to get me to sleep. And then my idea or my goal was to not wake up, to not feel pain. That's how fast it was. When I woke up, I was aware. I was aware of what was going on. And I immediately said to myself, I'm like, I am so glad to be alive. I'm so glad. I immediately regretted everything I did. But when I woke up, there were tubes in my throat. I was on a ventilator. I was horrified. I don't think I've been that scared in my entire life. I had no idea what was going on. I never wanted to inflict that type of pain on my mom, my brother, my sister, no one. My sister and my brother asked the cops who responded to this call to me at my house after the fact, do you get this often? People who would attempt to kill themselves. And they had said, pretty much, unfortunately, we do. And then they asked, or they had told my brother and sister, you know, there were 3 calls that night for suicide attempts. And only one made it, and that was her brother. When they told me that, a wave of sadness and gratefulness came into my body. Sadness for the 2 people who lost their lives. And then that gratefulness was there for me surviving and living. I take the fact of what happened and the fact that I'm living here today very seriously. I mean, I was always the guy that was in a good mood. I was always the nice guy. But it was, in many cases, an act. No human being can be nice 100% every single day. I'm a human. I get upset, I cry, I laugh, I smile. But I was lying to myself for a very long time. And since leaving the hospital, to getting the help I needed, it's all been instrumental. That's why, let the people closest to you know what's going on. Because that's how they can best help you. I was so guarded all of the time, basically. I would come home, I would shut my door, turn my lights off. I had blackout blinds. My room was filled with darkness. I didn't see a blip of the outside world. I just watch movies, which I do love, TV shows, which I do love, but doing that so often, it affects you. Right? Doing anything you love so often can affect you negatively. Part of my change is really changing, obviously, that situation in my room, but how I interact with people, what I'm doing now. You can't rewind things. You just move forward. So, do I look at what happened here, what happened in my life a few months ago as a regret? I would not say that. It's unfortunate that happened, and it's going to hurt for a very long time because I hurt many people I loved, but I don't see it as a regret. I got the help I needed. If you're watching this and you're someone I knew or know, someone I don't know, and you're struggling, and you're around my age, you're younger, you're older, please do not be like me and wait too long. Life's too short. Again, easy for me to say because I almost lost my life, but almost losing my life made me realize just how precious life is and how fast it can get snatched away from you. I am not all healed right now, nowhere near. But I am on my way, and that's the important thing. Words are just words until you act on them, but I am acting on them, excuse me. I'm getting the help I need, and I'm making sure that I'm in a good mental state, that I am healthy, because that is the most important thing for me to do right now. And you can do the same thing if you're struggling. Just want to thank everyone who's reached out to me personally. I haven't been public with exactly what's been going on, but to the people that have reached out who knew that I went to the hospital, thank you. And to everyone that needs a helping hand, don't be ashamed. You're strong to accept it. It's the right thing for you to do. You are not alone. You are loved. You are appreciated. And you can get the help you deserve. I did it, and it was not easy. I unfortunately attempted to end my own life, but I am here, I am grateful to be here, and I'm staying here. And I knew when I woke up, when I first woke up, that I will never do this again. Thank you.